Hi, this is John. I'm going to take you through a new series of videos. I've called it CTO Breakfast because these are all of the things that I build during my breakfast. When I get in at 8, I spend some time doing all kinds of demos that I usually show at the sales kickoff, things like that. But I thought I'd do some videos to walk through it to save me having to keep demoing it over and over and over again. So so the first video, I'm going to take you through what I've been doing with SVG for Tumi, for the Tumi ID demo that they wanted. That's helped them move forward with it, although they have to sign the contract yet. But let me take you through it, and I'm going to start with the SVG part of it first. And then in later videos, I'll take you through how I've used content authoring and how you can integrate it into e-commerce sites. So what I'm going to take you through right now is the concept, the Tumi ID requirement, the SVG approach that we took, the setup of the SVG, images and layers, and how those things work, and I'll take you through some demos. So the concept that they came up with is based actually on Nike ID. They basically wanted up to 10 different attributes of a product, like a backpack here, that can be configured to lots of different colors, lots of different variants, with a whole series of alt images all run in a single experience. Now, if I come out and I show you Nike ID itself, this is the Nike ID site. And what it allows you to do, so this is where the concept originated from, what it allows you to do is to design your, here we go. It allows you to edit your own design. So here's a training shoe. You can change different attributes on the trainer. You can, so if I just change some things on here, you can see that you can customize various aspects of this of the product. Let's have a look. You can do this, yeah. So you can have a lot of fun with this, and also you can also provide basically, if it'll actually work, you can actually monogram it. So I'll just do this short text. So I can do a MW. You can see that it's put a monogram in each one of the trainers. So that's the concept they wanted for their own products, so the backpacks and bags. I'll show you how we basically construct it from the SVG side to start with. So thank you. So the approach that we took was to basically compose the image using layers within the SVG. Each layer is associated to specific images that are composited together to generate the SVG. The SVG is basically takes in parameters from the URL to swap out the various images at the various layers to composite them together to get the effect. Images are also saved using a specific naming convention that the SVG can then use to select the appropriate image for the appropriate layer. And then there's obviously, we put a text layer in for the insignia, for the monogram. So if I move. Yeah, so the image layers work something like this. So each image layer that Hemi saved, actually Hemi worked on this project to create the demo and created all of the images. You can see that we use naming convention like the SKU code, the layer in which that image is that's associated to it, and the relevant color code, so like orange, red, etc. And here's some examples that Hemi and I pulled together for this demo. This is a sort of a representation of how the SVG works. So you can see how the parameters are placed at the top. So layer 0 is orange, layer 1 is orange, layer 2 is gold, layer 3 is red. So at the top. So that's the kind of parameters passed in the SVG. The SVG then takes each of its image layers and then associates the relevant image into those layers and then comes up with a compositive JPEG. The layer production was done manually by Hemi in Photoshop. He did an excellent job. So he took, I think it was this original kind of blue bag here, and then basically split it all out, cropped it out, and colorized each of the individual pieces and created all the various layers. So let me show you the actual SVG itself. So first of all, let's scroll down here. First of all, we basically create the image layers. So I've got image layer 0, 1, 2, 3, and then the text layer. We then have the substitution. So if you know about the SVG, this is substitution. This is the intelligence in the SVG that swaps the layer. So it basically says for layer 0, swap it with a new image where the skew is equal to the skew that's passed on the URL, the skew code that's passed on the URL, and the layer code for layer 0 that's passed on the URL. And it does that basically all the way through. So this is why the naming convention is really important, because the images are, you can see the images are saved in this naming convention so that we can select the right images for the right layers. And these are the things that you need, the tokens that you need. So it shows up in the UX inside the DAM, inside the personalization app. You see skew, insignia, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. And if I scroll over here, you can see the default values that you can pass in. So yellow, gray, and black, I think in that instance. So that's the SVG. There's only one final thing on the SVG to kind of show you really, which is, where's it gone? Which is the filter itself. I've collapsed it here. So inside here, you can see there's a filter for bevel. That's important because our image layer that gets the monogram passed into it, the insignia passed into it, here has the bevel filter applied to it. So instead of being a flat font, you get a nice beveled font shape. So let me show you what that looks like. So if we go to here, when you render this SVG, basically looks like this. So you can see that it's a Tumi bag. It's the one that we want to use for the demo. And we can change some of these values here. So I'm going to zoom in here. So if we wanted to make the base level orange, we can pass in orange for the color code here. We'll leave the sides black, the sides yellow there. And actually layer 2, we can change to red, I think. Set that. You can see that the image is now completely changed. We've changed the patch here. We've changed the base color and the pockets. And you can basically continue to change it that way. If we look inside the DAM, I filtered out all the images. This is a sales team demo, so all you sales guys who want to have a look at this can have a look at this. I just did a quick search filter to show you the various layers. You can see how they're all assembled together here with all the different color codes. And the SVG has been already imported. I'll open up the product customization app, and let's have a look at the contact sheet for this. So here's some I created earlier. I like this one here. Show preview. The reason I like this one is that we call it the Iron Man bag, based on what Sabrina said in marketing. But you can see here, these are the things that we passed in, so we can pass it in. We can pass in John on here, for instance, and now it will say John on the bag, etc.